In Fear I Trust is an interesting title. It started out as a mobile game, but has just recently been ported to PC platforms. In this thriller puzzler, you play as Nikolai, otherwise known as Patient 17.
Hello there. Have a seat.
Episode 1. After a short cinematic introduction to the story and main character, you are thrown straight into the game, waking up in a cell. This is where the game's first minor issue presents itself. The mouse sensitivity for the duration of the initial tutorial is extremely high, and cannot be changed. Moving the mouse just millimeters still resulted in the camera flinging around like you've thrown it across the country. Thankfully, the issue resolves itself as soon as you get into the actual gameplay, but for the first minute or so, it's very off-putting. After teaching you the basics of movement, you are shown what appears to be the main mechanic of the first episode: collecting and reading papers. There are 16 of them scattered throughout the 1 or so hour long episode, though they aren't really that challenging to find. Reading them gives some small insight into the backstory, and also some things that have escaped Nikolai's memory. Some also seem to be mandatory to pick up, as they allow you to progress through the story. This really does seem to be the primary game mechanic, with the short and simple puzzles only taking a short amount of time. The only reason they take anything more than a minute is that the game never actually explains them to you, controls included. So something as simple as unlocking a door with a key may take you a few attempts as you work out the correct way to move your mouse. You basically have to mimic what you would do on a touchscreen, being a mobile port. Going along with the theme of the frustrating puzzles, the final challenge of the episode crumbles in on itself if you make even one mistake. The reason for this is there is no reset button, so without spoiling what the puzzle actually is, if you want to reset it, you have to first work out how to undo your mistake, which can be very time consuming. You can either do this, or exit out of the game entirely. It's also a surprise when the episode ended straight after this puzzle. It brought the total time spent on the episode to around 1 hour, setbacks and menu idling included. At this sort of time frame, we don't feel that the first episode has earned its $6.99 US price tag. However, we will have to see if this trend continues in episode 2 and beyond.